Lexington police say a strip club where they've worked multiple shootings could lose its liquor license.
As the sinkhole continued to grow in Garrett County, county leaders took some emergency steps today to keep it from becoming a bigger problem.
6 fallen Kentucky law enforcement officers will be memorialized this weekend in Washington, D.C.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. Cracking down on violent crime. Tonight, Lexington police are targeting a strip club that they had seen fights and even shootings at.
Police asked Alcoholic Beverage Control to take away the club's liquor license. Victor Puente is tracking the investigation tonight. It's our top story at 6.
Lexington's Alcoholic Beverage Control says violence and other violations have led them to try to revoke Camelot East's liquor license. The club is appealing that decision, and it could be more than a year before there's a resolution.
Since November, I can think of at least 2 murders that have occurred in the parking lot or in the general area of Camelot East, and at least 3 shootings that have been confirmed in the area.
Lexington police know the area around Camelot East very well. Their records show they've responded to hundreds of calls there in the last 10 years. They say that violence, along with several other violations, has led to the Fayette County Alcoholic Beverage Control Administrator revoking their liquor license.
At this point, they're going to be able to appeal that decision, though, just much like what anybody in a criminal case will be able to appeal a decision.
People working in the shopping center adjacent to the club tell us they don't feel safe at night because of all of that violence. They also said they didn't want to be identified.
I think the police really need to work hard to do it, and because it's dangerous, and we used to feel safe here and we don't anymore because of them and what goes on there after hours.
One incident outside of the club in February left a bullet in a neighboring animal hospital.
You know, this block right here is in danger when they're operating.
Police say they're attempting to expedite that appeals process, but say it could take more than a year to have the case resolved.
I'm afraid that there'll be other incidents in the area, just like the ones we saw in November, December, February, that ultimately led to 2 people losing their lives on different occasions.
We tried to speak to someone from Camelot East about this. The attorney representing them was in trial this week and couldn't talk. If we do get a statement from them, we'll put it on our website, WKYT.com. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Lexington police say in addition to Camelot East, they have active investigations or hearings involving 3 other clubs, Camelot West, Paradise City, and Club NV.
It kept growing, so county leaders say they couldn't wait any longer. Today, they've filled a sinkhole that opened up near a Garrett County home. This is what the sinkhole looked like from the air yesterday. Officer Don shot this video from Sky First. Garrett County leaders say the sinkhole was threatening a nearby road, so they had to stop it immediately. Phil Pendleton has an update.
County officials say this was simply one big sinkhole.
We put 6 or 7 loads, I guess, 5 or 6 or something in there, and it just disappeared.
Those are dump truck loads.
It's hard to explain because it's just something I've never experienced before.
Dump truck after dump truck, and hours after they began, it appeared they had hardly made a dent in their work.
Well, hopefully we can get it filled up before it gets on this road.
Lasers were used Thursday night to measure the inside, and they discovered the sinkhole was jeopardizing Fork Church Road.
It's up within 2 foot of the road, so if it gets on this road, it'll be gone too, I imagine.
By 10 o'clock Friday morning, more than 12 truckloads were poured in, and yet there was still a lot of work yet to do.
These things get big, and I never dreamed anything like this.
Harlan Barton owns the land and the farmland nearby. He's seen sinkholes before, but this is a first.
Let's just hope nothing happens again.
By early Friday afternoon, the hole was filled and the home and the road out of harm's way. In Garrett County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, other than a broken water line, county leaders say the sinkhole did not cause any structural damage to that home.
We received a much-needed break from the rain today, but it looks like some much cooler air is moving in for our weekend. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look now at your forecast.
Yeah, going to get downright chilly as we go into our Saturday and Sunday, but boy, you got to give it up for a fine Friday across the Bluegrass State. Look at this absolutely gorgeous shot out there. The grass is as green as you're ever going to find it. The sky right now is pretty darn blue out there as well, with overall very, very nice conditions. Those current temperatures are into the upper 60s in most of central and eastern Kentucky, flirting with 70. Humidity's way down compared to the past few days. Again, upper 60s, 70 degrees here or there, 70 London into Danville. Hello, Frankfort, your late afternoon thermometer touching the low 70s for a time. We'll drop it off a little bit this evening. Defender Radar Network, nothing on the home front, but look to our northwest. Showers, thunderstorms ahead of a gusty cold front that will introduce that colder air into the state as we go through tomorrow. So Saturday morning showers and storms, colder air set to follow, and a frost threat that will come your way by Sunday morning. Guys, not the best forecast I've ever given for a weekend here in just a few minutes. And then the storms start to return as well. It's still busy, even though it's quiet out there today.
New tonight, part of a busy Floyd County road is reopened following a rock slide. State police say the southbound lane of US 23 is now open in the Iville community. For now, police are directing traffic so both north and southbound traffic can get by. Highway Department crews are still working to remove the remaining rocks in the northbound lane. The rocks fell onto the road during a storm Wednesday night. New tonight, state health leaders say flu season is showing no signs of slowing down in Kentucky. They say typically flu season ends in May, but they're still confirming new flu cases around the state. This week, state health leaders say they confirmed a new flu death in Powell County. It is the second flu death there in the last 2 months.
New tonight, a Magoffin County teacher has been suspended while state police investigate whether he sent inappropriate Facebook messages to a student. The superintendent says the female student goes to Magoffin County High School, but the male teacher does not work there. Investigators say there's no evidence that the teacher had sexual contact with the student. The superintendent says depending on the outcome of the investigation, the teacher could be fired. The Democratic candidates for president are planning more visits to Kentucky in the days before the state's primary. Bernie Sanders has announced he will attend a rally in Bowling Green tomorrow night and another rally in Paducah on Sunday. And today, Hillary Clinton's campaign said that she will return to Kentucky for events on Sunday and Monday. But details of her visit have not been announced. Kentucky's primary is on Tuesday. Governor Matt Bevin calls it intimidation. The Obama administration has new federal guidelines for public schools about how to treat transgender students and which restrooms they should use. Jennifer Palumbo's in the newsroom now with how Kentucky leaders are reacting to that, new at 6.
Today, every public school in the country and across Kentucky received this letter from the Departments of Education and Justice. It offers guidance for how transgender students should be treated, especially with regard to access to bathrooms and locker rooms, as well as housing. The guidelines say for schools to receive federal funds, they must not treat a transgender student differently from the way they treat other students of the same gender identity.
The guidance does not add additional requirements to the applicable law. The guidance does not require any student to use shared facilities when schools make alternate arrangements. But what the framework does provide is advice for how school administrators can protect the dignity and safety of every student under their charge.
In a statement, Governor Matt Bevin says it is difficult to imagine a more absurd federal overreach into a local issue. Under the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution, the federal government has no authority to interfere in local school districts' bathroom policies. The governor also says his administration is looking at its options. The letter says schools that do not comply will be violating Title IX and could lose billions of dollars. In the newsroom, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
And we asked Fayette County Public Schools about the guidelines. In a statement, spokeswoman Lisa Defendahl said, "We have always worked in close partnership with students and families on this issue, and we will continue to do what is right and ensure that all students feel welcome and respected in our schools." New tonight, Morehead State University's president has announced he will be retiring next year. Dr. Wayne Andrews made that announcement today during a work session of the university's Board of Regents. He said he and his wife had been discussing retirement for the last year and decided to go ahead with it. Dr. Andrews will retire at the end of June of next year. He's been president since 2005. And this comes as the university is dealing with a nearly $10 million budget deficit.
Tonight, events are getting underway in Washington, D.C. to honor fallen law enforcement officers around the country. This weekend, 6 police officers from Kentucky will be added to the National Memorial, and their families will be on hand. As Sean Moody tells us from Washington, a candlelight vigil will be held tonight.
This is, of course, a club that no family wants to join, but they say they're thankful for all the support they've received here in Washington, D.C. over the past few days. Tonight's candlelight vigil begins in just a couple of hours. 6 Kentucky law enforcement officers will be memorialized at this year's National Police Week. Richmond Police Officer Daniel Ellis, Nicholasville Police Officer Burke Rhodes, Bullitt County Detention Center Lieutenant Clifford Travis, and Kentucky State Police Troopers Eric Chrisman, Blake Tribby, and Cameron Ponder. Their families have been here in D.C. for the past couple of days. This is what one of the police escorts looked like as some of the families arrived. It's a staggering display of the love these agencies show one another. Police officers from across the nation are here to support each other and remember those who've died in the line of duty. Now again, that vigil begins at 8 o'clock this evening. We'll show you that moving display later on this evening at 11. In Washington, D.C., Sean Moody, WKYT.
State transportation leaders say a road in Richmond will be renamed the Officer Daniel Ellis Memorial Highway next week. A sign will be unveiled next Thursday at the Richmond Police Department. More than 24 Richmond police officers are in Washington for the National Police Week events, and other law enforcement agencies around Madison County are helping cover emergency calls in Richmond while those officers are out of town. Berea police say they're offering their services at no cost to the Richmond Police Department.
It's been said before, but law enforcement is a brotherhood, and we're all like one big family. You know, Madison County has 2 cities in it, which is a little bit unique, and we work closely together.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office and EKU Police are also helping with calls in Richmond. New tonight, Lexington police have released surveillance pictures showing the suspect in a robbery outside a Kroger.
It happened late last night in the parking lot of the Tates Creek Road Kroger. Police say a 54-year-old woman was putting groceries into her car when a man walked up and grabbed her purse. They say that the woman tried to fight him off, but he hit her in the face and ran off. Police released a surveillance picture they say shows the suspect. They say another surveillance picture shows the truck that the man used to drive away.
The University of Kentucky has a new website designed to help Kentuckians stay up to date on the Zika virus. UK entomologist Lee Townsend created the site. He hopes it will keep Kentuckians informed while also stopping the virus, which is spread by a certain type of mosquito.
It's got links to the Centers for Disease Control sites, which have national information. But what we want to do is have what the status of Zika and mosquito activity is in Kentucky.
Health departments around Kentucky are planning to step up their mosquito control plans this summer. We have a link on our website, WKYT.com.